at least jump on the point first and hopefully get the cap if they're lucky.
Oh, that wall right there isolating Fushui, and now finding IDK. That's 2 members down for the Spark, and now just being able to take full control over this point here first.
Oh,
That's
nice
a good statement to
guard.
make, and yeah, just
Room. It has to land onto one of these supports, but they still probably have Immortality Field. Hopper couldn't escape.
Alpha unfortunately becomes the victim of that Riptire. Copper now trying to find that mark. The pressure going onto Bernard. The sound barrier coming in for IDK. He's frozen in his tracks, but at the same time, Gushui still has that shatter to at least suppress the fusion back. The wall is going to be able to isolate Mono. He's going to go down. Gushui is not going to try to overextend. Instead, hold on to the shatter and as well as makes their way over to control this point for the first time of the round. Oh.
That's good. There's the right click. Mocha right click is back. Oh, and it wasn't even so Minsu. MCD is dead. Even if Carpe dies here, it doesn't really matter because you lost your main heals. Of course, Gushui is going super low.
Oh, no, no, no. And now that's going to allow the rest of Fusion to make their way right back over here. The Spark, they're losing members, and they're losing them fast after losing MCD to Carpe. The Shatter now coming
Someone
alive.
needs to touch.
Someone needs to get on the point to at least contest it here. Overtime now ticking away. Currently have the Fusion making their way right back over to stop the Spark. Now they're stuck over to this Riveted Flux, and the Animatrix coming alive, going to be able to control some of that space, but it doesn't even matter here, Jaws. The Spark, they're falling through, and the Fusion, they're moving right back in to live rent-free in Spark's heads.
He's going to win. You saw at the very, very start. Boom. Spark instantly came down. They're trying to TP flank Shadow. In fact, Manu just landed, but he's in trouble.
He has the Immortality Field, but he took on so much of that damage pressure coming forward from Seoul and Su. You're talking about the fact that whoever gets onto this point is going to be able to try to take it. Well, I mean, Jaws, this is a clear example of that, and the alarm for that sustainability. The Blizzard coming in is going to stop Boucher, but the sound barrier is going to help them stay alive. IDK is taking a lot of that damage, and the Spark, Jaws, they're losing members and they're losing them fast. The Fusion, now they're making their way right back over to the point. They clean things up here and they do so successfully. Now it's a matter of taking care of that.
A gravitic flux from Hopper, there it does, it's coming out. It is straight on top of the entirety of the Spark lineup almost.
It's a fun Friday out here, you can say that again, and being able to find Bernard off to the side, they are trading nonetheless. Hava taking so much of that damage, but the follow-up coming alive from Rascal pinpointed how his positioning has been on point, especially with that Blizzard to help out the rest of Fusion to take in that point finally. And now despite
actually help build that beat quick enough. MCD's ult charge not building, but Bernard actually eats the Blizzard.
Oh, take that for a lunch right now, and the Shatter coming in. Gushui, he gets stuck here, and now being able to clean up the point. It's going to be a wipe out here for the Fusion, with Spark now making their way over to this point.
Fusion needed was the Blizzard, and Bernard just eats it up. And now they have a free beat, Vicky. Someone's going to have to touch, and no one does. Okay, was kind of expecting the Lucio to touch there. They can just back off with ease and just bait in a nice triple anti, though. But will it result in anything? Maybe it will. Alarm gets gold.
Oh yeah, taking notes right here from the Hunters. You made note of it, and Architect does find Alarm after getting antied right there over to the side. That's Toby going down too, as both supports out of the fight for Fusion. These turrets, though, being a threat, they are going to be able to clean it up with the rest of the Spark making their way over to the point. It's a matter of cleaning up Romano, though. He is trying to delay the inevitable with the rest of Fusion trying to contest. Now, Spark, they're cleaning things up, and they are able to try to take this point. The Photon Barrier, they're not wasting any time here, Jaws. The EMP now coming alive and finding two. Rascal now is out of that fight. He actually had Blizzard as well that he could have been able to at least hold on to the point, but 80% now, Jaws with the Spark side, and that meanwhile coming alive. The Rocket Barrage coming in and finding two, despite that Blizzard falling down and actually finding some of the members from Spark over to the side. He controls some space. Mono gets put to sleep. He has that Shatter, but losing both of that DPS. Rascal's quickly swapping over to the Tracer, so that way they can at least get back into the fight rather quickly. Now the Shatter to follow in. The Coalescence to match up with that, but Alarm's put to sleep. That Coalescence gets shut down, and so does Toby. And the Spark now, they're losing members, and they're losing them fast with the rest of Fusion. Now being able to try to take this point without the Spark being able to find themselves back into the advantage seat.
Yeah, there's no way you're going to be able to get in the back now. That EMP was absolutely massive. It's big.
He does utilize the EMP. They find find Mono from it, and the anti to follow up right afterwards. Alarm is surprisingly alive. The Deadeye does find Architect at the same time, so they do trade here. At the same time, Mono had Shatter, and they do find him at the side right here. Toby's gone from this fight, and the res onto Architect now sets up Spark on the advantage in terms of numbers. They do reclaim this point, but for how long here, Jaws? The Pulse doesn't find a sticky. He's trying to find his way over to pressuring on IDK, but yeah, IDK still managed to get away on time. The Rocket Barrage coming alive. Architect getting in that pocket from IDK, knowing that Rascal wanted to make sure that, you know, you can make sure that IDK isn't as much of a threat onto managing to help out Architect. It's unfortunately to no avail right now, Jaws, and they're at nearly 99% to match that with the Fusion.
Yeah, they need to get back in ASAP once again. It's going to be Rascal or Toby with the touch. Manu switching over Ball to try and do so as well. Coalescence is going to be online also, but they're not going to be able to do it. What? How did they not touch?
What?
Excuse me. Onto Mano though, as they do try and stem the bleeding just a little bit, but Alarm falling to a Pulse Bomb, that's not a good start.
Oh, that and Toby actually getting anti. He doesn't get taken out yet, but it's just up to Toby for that healing output. For the rest of Fusion, may not be enough sustainability here, though, as Takoyaki is going absolutely primal rage mode, and Bernard does fall through. Rascal finds that pulse bomb onto Bernard, and MCD goes in right after him. That just leaves IDK for that sustainability, but the Spark, they're winning in numbers, and they're also able to take this point over to defend successfully. I mean, when you take a look at the way that Fusion just played that, they wanted to essentially try to speedrun to that point, but can they stop Alarm?
Meters to go though, and the rally's coming out from Toby.
And the grab as well coming forward though, 2 members down. IDK does get hit with the anti. The rally now to keep the rest of Spark alive after MCD falls down through. But currently Fusion, they're getting some of that momentum built in their favor. Taco is taking a quick nap. IDK gets stunned and also gets taken out of that fight. Hoppa is going to be able to tack on so much of that damage, getting that energy, and as well as the fact that they get that first point. It is a quick nap here, and they're going to be able to clean up MCD and delay some of those spawns at the same time. And oh, what a terrible situation to be in if you're at the Spark, but they have to go hanging on to that position. I mean, he's going to be a menace to deal with, and getting sent back. Mono, he wants to clear up the point. He wants to make sure to send them off of that map, but the Pulse won't find MCD now. Takoyaki has that primal to reset, with so many members falling down from the Spark, get stunned right out of their boots, and the rest of Fusion, they're cleaning around, and they're immediately trying to get this second point so quickly. Architect does manage to contest right on time. He takes a lot of that damage, but he's still managing to hold on to the contention. The grab now to get in that follow-up, and Hoppa being able to be there right on time. Toby gets antied, and he gets taken to sleep, but Curly's Spark, unfortunately now, they can't hold them back, and the rest of Fusion, they do manage to get that point.
Yes, we do. Apologies, I didn't hear any of that because I think something crashed, but I think we're good. I think we're good. Little tech wizard, I'm just trying to fix it, and we, yeah, Godspeed takes down Carpe.
I know, he's going to be able to get a lot of that pressure going in, and he don't see him, he finds MCD! MCD does manage to pull off that nano boost on time, but at the same time, that you have the Fusion building into that momentum, the grab now to stop them short, finding a lot of these picks coming forward and saving the day from what could have been a really lethal situation for Carpe. Takoyaki slapping him around, making sure that he gets right back to the team where he belongs, and currently the Spark, now they are going to be able to go in for a reset because they're losing members and they're losing them fast. Taking a quick nap though, they do manage to clean up around Mono before going.
He is scurrying all the way back to their old spawn. Pulse Bomb on top, Bernard goes down, and that'll be the fight over, I think. They got to push all the way into their spawn now.
Carpe finally went down after Takoyaki chased him to the great beyond, all the way to Narnia out here. Hoppa now does have that nano boost as well as nearly 100 energy charge. Overall though, is still dealing so much of that damage, clearing point. Goodbye Takoyaki, and the Spark have to desperately get on this point. Need to contest, less than 45 seconds left on board, and no one's there to touch. They do manage to take the payload all the way home.
Yeah, I may have caught that.
Oh, the grab is online, waiting for that opportunity from Hoppa. Fortunately, Mono took so much of that damage, he's out of that fight, letting that Dynamite close things up, and the grab now being able to clean things up. The Fusion now nowhere in sight to go in for this defense. They are trying to go in for that high ground to at least tack on some of that pressure. You can see Carpe now getting into position with Alarm and Toby. Same time though, Carpe took so much damage right there, and Takayaki wasting no time to jump on Alarm. Finding Alarm though, right before Alarm was able to utilize that nano boost at the same time. They're still managing to contest on this point, but for how much longer here, Jaws, after Mono and Carpe now fall, it may want to be a reset here for Fusion, but they're still trying to waste as much time as possible away from the Spark.
Man, Alarm actually used the nano boost there on Toby at the very end, and you saw as we got Toby POV. Architect's been pushing this payload for so long. They have got Graviton Surge, and Bernard can just launch it at the back line. He does just that.
And with the sticky on the pulse bomb, it finds Toby and Carpe. That's two huge picks here, and allowing Spark to take full advantage for the revenge. The revenge. Rascal said, "Excuse me, Architect, I would like to take that back from you real quick and send it right back over to the Spark." But God's now answering right back, getting a quick 3K with some assistance from Bob, the helper, and now they currently have that second point. And what a performance going back. It's a matter of finding who's going to find his first. The grab attack, he gets put to sleep. He has nowhere to go, and they clean him out before he can actually pull the trigger on the Primal. Now trading through, Rascal falls in, and you currently have the Fusion taking so much of that damage. Toby activates the rally, but Rascal and Carpet, they've fallen through. They will be able to try to get back into this fight, but is it going to be too late now that Cosby has managed to take that pick onto Carpet? Alarm is put to sleep. He has that nano boost, and the grab coming alive. It's going to be a cleanup right here, Jaws, as the rest of Spark, they send Fusion back to the spawn.
Well, again, it's just the small touches of the payload that are really working out well here for the Spark. Is anybody going to be able to touch? Yes, it's Bob, and he actually gets booped away.
Oh, you also currently have Rascal, who came right in from the side and gets that pulse bomb pick off of the IDK. Architect falls through too. Despite that Bob being on board, it still managed to get in a lot of the space and buy in a lot of the time for Fusion to try to make their way over. It's getting contested and the time is still ticking away, and they still manage to make it right back onto the point here, Jaws.
Vicky, they need one pick and that's it.
They need to find a way to go in. They find Alarm. This is that opportunity for them to try to hold forward, but at the same time, Fusion, they're holding on to these front lines, and they have less than 10 seconds to touch this point.
Miracle pick from Mano there, killing off IDK. Now they don't have speed to actually touch the payload in time. It's going to be down to Architect to try and jump on in, or even someone else. No, it's not good enough. The Philadelphia Fusion are going to take it, Vicky.
They've already taken the first take, matching over to the second take. Carpet took a lot of that damage, but the Immortality Field? I mean, can someone contest them here? The Immortality Field is finally done with, but you currently have the rest of Fusion managing to tack on so much of that damage and take care of Takayaki. That's going to be Bernard falling through, and speed running their way over to that first point now, Jaws. I mean, when we were talking about how close these matches were going, I was not...
I can't. There we go. I can hear something now.
Oh, we hear you. We got you.
Okay, good stuff. Sorry, my audio devices are just messing up. Carpe just releases 10,000 kill. I was hoping to make that something completely epic, but I lost all sound, which wasn't great. But Hangzhou Spark looking like they're losing their minds right now on this second point. That wall is just destroying them.
What? They're just immediately deleting the Spark. Where are they? They haven't even been able to touch a pinky on the point. Bob has been on this point longer, and look how quickly they took care of that. Immediately took him out of that fight. They're trying to delay the inevitable, and the duplicate over to the Reinhardt. He's trying to get in some of the shatters that the Echo could build in so quickly. Finds Hoppa. Hoppa gets out of the situation. We're going to get back together, though, with Seth. Help me out here, because at the moment, Spark didn't look like they were in a grim situation, and now they're cleaning up Fusion.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Don't worry, you got your moment there. Welcome to the Overwatch.
Here, they are trying to force off the Spark from this high ground. The grab now coming alive. They have to focus down on the lamp. They do manage to do so in the shatter. It's looking so chaotic here in the siren. We're trading forward, but the number advantage going in favor to the Fusion as they do manage to find a way to sandwich the Spark. He can now dive right back in. Big Angie coming alive, finding 3. Mano's put to sleep, and he gets cleaned out of this fight, as well as Shatter not being present in this fight. Luckily, the spawn is right there, but this is going to be the opportunity for Spark to get a little aggressive, although they have to be wary. It's only MCD to help out with the sustainability.
Yeah, this duplicate right now not getting a huge amount of value. He's almost got the pulse bomb online with about 6 seconds left to go. Now finally has it, goes and he does get the stick. And he'll find that kill. Really nicely done, but the fight is still going the way of the Fusion right now.
No, yeah, Architect is popping off, but at the same time, Fusion have that number advantage. It's going to be a matter of time before Carpe finds him falling through, and he does so successfully. So now you way back in the window now to buy in some of that space. Alarm trying to attack on some more of that pressure. The Immortality Field is going to help out Toby and Alarm here. And you currently have Takayaki trying to hold up, trying to be super aggressive. Carpe finds Architect, which would have been absolutely lethal here. The grab now coming forward, but nobody to find any members of Fusion with that Summer to help them out. Both supports lines are finally done. They do manage to touch, but the Shatter coming in to clean them up, force him off this point. He has to jump right back in. He does so on time. Seth, currently he's won. He didn't live anymore. No one needs to touch. Architect was right there. Unfortunately, couldn't get there on time, but few uncontested right now. Gushway taking a lot of the damage. He gets out in time, though, managing to get saved by that nano boost. At the cost of Bernard, though, you currently have the Spark winning in numbers, and they're trading for Architect and IDK. That just leaves MCD for that sustainability. Gushway gets hit right here to go all the way forward, and he hit it on to Fusion. Now they're stuck over to the side. The Blizzard from Rascal could really make it or break it to hold on to this point, but they have no opportunity with Gushway taking care of Mono and Toby.
Wait, he's going to use the Blizzard?
Only Gushway? Oh,
okay, he uses it on the Gushway. He's going to try to buy some time.
Oh, he does, and they're just waiting perfectly right here. The window now on top of the high ground. You currently have Fusion now being able to actually turn a bad situation into a way better one thanks to Rascal.
It's going to be the duplicate here. As Architect gets a really nice pin kill on Amano, tries to get a Shatter down. Won't be able to find too much, but they do find Rascal. 32 ticks picked up for them, so they can definitely press the advantage. They have the grab, they have the EMP ready to go, and it seems like Fusion are just going to have to give this up eventually. So this will get taken, so decent little time bank here for the side of the Hangzhou Spark, but that was such a crazy turnaround, albeit a short-lived one.
And prevent Fusion from being able to reclaim this aggression and defense over by the point.
They get a lot of distance on this card, but Rascal with a really nice pulse bomb opens things up. Deadeye used by Carpe, finds IDK, just can't fly away fast enough. Bernard going down here, that's going to cancel any energy that he has built up, is still holding on to this grab. But this is just allowed time for Fusion to come back and get these.
At the same time, does pull out the duplicate to copy or the Wisdom. He gets immediately booted out of it, though. Alarm wasting no time. Architect now is going to be able to clean things up. The EMP coming in and does find both of the supports, but no follow-up. Spark, though, does have Architect to be able to control that. Able to time this Primal so that way he's quite literally a threat to focus down for. Oh no, he was right there, but Toby actually managed to stuff him short, and they are going to be able to clean up this point. Big anti coming in, Carpe and Toby, but thankfully, despite Hoppa falling in, they still have Mono to be able to hold on to this front line, enable Carpe so that way he can still tack on some of that extra pressure, and Rascal with the pulse bomb coming in, gonna be able to get in not only some of the pressure, but Bernard and IDK, they're gone from this fight. They are gonna have to regroup. He's stacking in a lot of that damage, but it's not gonna be enough. Yeah, unfortunately, they can't close him out. Hoppa having that Diva mech, so that way he can utilize the Diva bomb to reset that helpful overtime ticking away. Finding that pick onto Architect, though, leaves up to Shy with a big EMP, finding 4. Nobody, though, from Fusion has fallen. Instead, it's Fusion doing the cleaning up on aisle 3. And unfortunately for Spark, none of these members are left up to the point right now, Seth, and being able to hold them right before that second point. It's a matter of keeping the rest of Spark out and about, wave of Gushway jumping right back in, and Architect taking that pick onto Alarm could actually set things in motion for the Spark to reclaim this defensive point. Although IDK and Architect now have fallen through, and that leaves MCD for that sustainability to actually maybe to no avail with Fusion successfully trying to take this point. They got to get on the point rather. They want to make sure that MCD will no longer survive, but at least trying to clean that up before making their way right back over to get this payload moving.
I mean, it was so cute.
The way that Fusion actually got out of the situation, not only repositioning themselves, but the Immortality Field coming in to actually help out the Fusion going forward, and the Sound Barrier to help them in and make sure that they take care of the front lines of the Spark. Luckily, the Bob does take care of Carpe, but it's not going to be enough when you just have Gushway in Primal, making sure that he can contest for as long as possible. Wouldn't try to contest Toby, the Boop God out here, but instead you still need to hold on to some sort of contention, or else this payload is going to be moving to the finish line for free. The Shatter, Seth, it's not looking great here. No one's left in sight. Oh, but this Tracer manages to contest for briefly, making their way over. Both DPS are trying their best, but is it going to be enough right here with Architect falling? It isn't. And the Philadelphia Fusion take the series over the Hangzhou Spark.
It was just huge plays from the Fusion in these last few maps. I mean, Eichenwald